we've got, I just wanted to start this. Today we're going back to some Jon Kabat-Zinn. Uh, I was looking for a quote that says, you should know how your mind operates. When we first say know yourself, and I've said this before, but I think it bears repeating, um, it, it doesn't mean what we think it means, because we're immediately going to be engaged with the conditioned mind. Uh, and we need to know the conditioned mind. Jack Kornfield says we think of it as our mind, but what neuroscience tells us is it's not our mind. We don't even make our own decisions. The brain makes the decision a half second before you do, and then tells you what you've decided. You can watch it happen. This isn't just a theory. So we got this brain that's generating our reality. It's all a holographic image, and nothing to do with reality. As Michael Singer says, it's close enough to keep us from bumping into the furniture. But outside of that, it's a very poor map for spiritual life. So first we begin to establish some distance, to stand back and ask the question, who's watching this mind? We quit identifying with it. We quit trying to fix it. There's nothing to fix. It's your brain doing what it does. It's like trying to fix your kidney. It's not a good effort. So remember what we're doing here. We're here to accomplish two things. One is to have a separation between what's going on in our brains. To sit back and watch it, that doesn't necessarily mean analyze it. Okay, I don't think that's a fruitful direction. There's a line someone uses in meditations where they have, recall an image of someone you love, like Linnell. It said, now get a felt sense of them. I love that. Matter of fact, it makes me want to cry. We need to go back to a felt sense of life. We're so disembodied that we're not actually experiencing the life that we're in. So cultivating that felt sense of how the mind operates without analysis. So, and then to quit identifying with it, to begin to see I'm watching. I get caught up in the drama, like a movie where we watched A Man Called Otto, and cried about 8 times in the goddamn thing. It's just extremely touching. But that's because we're identifying with what's going on. It's generating. Way to throw me under the bus. Cry, baby. So when we're getting emotional and stuff, realize that's again the mind generating it. Get caught up. I'm angry. I'm sad. I'm all these things. Just watch without judgment. So what we're developing is the discipline to hold our seats, as Pema would say, to not move to the right, which means to chase it, not move to the left, which means to fight with it. Just stay where you are and watch. And that the emotional stuff, emotions are coming from your brain. Witness doesn't have emotion. So when you're getting emotional in your meditation, it's not bad. Just sit back and watch it. Something your brain's generating. So let's go ahead.
Okay.
We're going to try.
We have a breathscape and bodyscape. It's 20 minutes. It's the full 20 minutes. I'm not even sure if he gongs us in or gongs us out, but at the end of his meditation, that'll be the end of the meditation, and I'll gong us out.
So this is a part of his book called Coming to Our Senses. And by scape, he means in your meditation, you can direct your awareness. It can be very precise or very broad. So this is inviting us to focus on the breath, and focus on the body. He's going to take us into soundscapes, take us into present momentscapes, different scapes, just so your meditation stays fresh and you don't get bored. So,
okay,
this is one option. out of column A.
So a certain kind of energy is essential from the very moment of taking your seat and assuming a comfortable posture in which to practice. It involves a certain kind of intention and a certain kind of attention woven together, sometimes spoken of in the Buddhist tradition as right, meaning wise effort. The Buddha used the analogy of tuning a stringed instrument. Too loose, and there's no true sound. Too tight, and the string can snap. So we need to have it be more like Goldilocks, just right, just the right quality of attention and intention. And although posture is only an aid in this process and not ultimately fundamental, and what is really important is the inner posture and the inner attitude. Inner and outer support and reflect each other. So often, even if the mind is clouded, perturbed, taut, or even if it is lax or dull at times, intentionally regulating the quality of the sitting posture, sitting as if you were awake, sitting as if you could be open-hearted and greet this moment in its fullness.
So they're giving me a sample, but I'm trying to get to the whole thing. Hold on. For some reason, that's all I've got.
Look under artist Jack Cornfield.
Yeah, I know. No, it's Jon Kabat-Zinn.
John Kabat.
It didn't slide over there. That's the other one.
Continue with your meditation.
Yeah.
Consider this tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay, I think it's beginning again. Hopefully this is it.
Establishing yourself in a sitting posture that embodies a mountain-like dignity, and allowing your attention to drop gently into the breath as it moves in and out of the body, as a leaf might flutter down onto the surface of a pond, and simply riding the waves of your breathing at the belly or anywhere else you care to in the body, resting in awareness from moment to moment and breath by breath, with no agenda other than to be awake, to be fully alive right here, right now, with this breath, in this moment of now. And as we sit here, every time there arises the realization that your attention has wandered and is no longer on the breath, simply noting what is on your mind in that moment, whatever it is, embracing it in full awareness because it's already here, already part of the nowscape, and without pursuing it further or attempting to push it away, simply featuring the breath once again, center stage in the field of awareness, as you allow everything else to simply be as it already is, and in the wings, so to speak, resting once again and over again in this very moment, giving full care and attention to the breath coming into the body and full care and attention to the breath leaving the body, moment by moment by moment, as if your life depended on it. As best you can, not forcing or cajoling the attention to do anything, letting there be as little doing as possible, perhaps even no doing whatsoever, simply being with breathing, moment by moment, resting in awareness itself. being this knowing of the breath that awareness already is. If you care to, you might invite the field of awareness to expand around the breath until it includes a sense of the body as a whole, sitting here, breathing, including the envelope of the skin and the caress of the air on the skin, and a sense of the carriage of the body sitting here, the posture itself, from the sensations associated with contact with the chair or the cushion, to the elevation of the spine out of the pelvis, the carriage of the head, and a sense of the arms and shoulders and hands, and simply resting here now in this larger awareness of the whole of the body sitting and breathing, in touch with whatever arises within the field of the body, any fluxing of sensation of any kind within the bodyscape and the breathscape, moment by moment by moment. Again, fully awake, awareness embodied, not doing anything, simply being this knowing, resting in wakefulness outside of time, just this sitting here, awareness filling the body, bathing the body, no agenda, no separation, the whole body sitting and breathing and being this knowing.
righty, folks. Just a couple of things before we start. If you're not familiar with the phrase right effort, there, after the three noble truths, which most people who've exposed themselves a little bit to Buddhism know, are life feels out of joint, first noble truth, second noble truth, feels out of joint because we want it to be different than it is. Third noble truth is a antidote for that is to let go of self-will. And then the fourth one is actually how you do that. And it's called the Eightfold Path. And one is right effort. So he suggested two aspects of this. One is right intention, okay? We need to resolve, and this is will. You don't hear a lot of people talk about will in meditation circles, but intention is the same word pretty much. So my intention is to be fully present to this moment. Set that intention before you begin. Then it's a matter of right attention. I like the play on words, intention and attention, which is to be wholeheartedly present in this moment. Wholeheartedness is another word that I like, which is an aspect of will. It's not that I want to drink my coffee. It's not that I want to scratch or look at how cute the dog is. It's that I want to be here. That's my major thing. And remember that, pull my awareness back. Now, one of the things I was thinking is awareness is like, how many of you have seen Matrix? Of the movie? You remember when they pulled the jack out of the back of his head and he suddenly realizes that the world he thought was the world isn't real, and that they're in sensory deprivation tanks that are keeping them from feeling the real world, and everything they're looking at is being generated on a computer screen. That's what happens when you wake up, folks. That's the pill, the choice we're often. We can either go back to sleep, crawl back in the sensory deprivation tank, or we can live in all the wrongness and ugliness of the world that's going on around us. So that awakening, just think of it as a disconnect. It'll feel disorienting when you do it. I'm not used to having that filter, that buffer against reality. It's a little disorienting at first. So I like the other thing that he said about sit as if you were awake. And our teacher does that. Father Kennedy's in his 90s, and he nods off. he can sit and actually sleep while he's meditating, which is cool. But what we're hitting here is what neuroscience says, is your posture affects the way you feel. And Alexander Lowen, the founder of Bio, opening your heart to the world. And he said, that's what we're doing. We're sitting here, our mind open and our hearts open, as if they were open. And even if they're not, the body begins to get the message. We don't have to live defended. We don't have to stay protected. We don't have to crawl into our defense mechanisms of our mind. I can risk being here this moment right now. I'm safe. I'm safe. Nothing to defend myself against except what's in my head. And we're going to put that out there and watch it unfold without fighting with it. I don't know if that makes any sense. But the more we come back, and this isn't just a matter of on the mat or the cushion, this is during your day. Am I fallen into that masochistic